Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you my redstone world because I made a tutorial video on how to build actually that door right behind me, and I said I'd make a tutorial world. If you see anything on here, right, anything in this world that you want to know how to build, please feel free to let me know because it would be great to show you how to build them. And I wanted to show you my redstone world. So first we've got this door. Well, actually, I built this door first. I've got the dates of when I built them and who built them in all of it. So first of all, I've got this door, which I think I've made a video on before, but which was a bit more in depth. But you know, this was the first like proper redstone thing I made, and I'm pretty impressed with it, to be honest. I think for a first door thing, like for a first thing like this, I think it's pretty good. It's quite big and bulky, I know that, but you know, I didn't really know quite what I was doing then. I mean, I'm still learning now. You're always learning redstone, but you know, pretty fun. I like that door. And then I think very recently I made another iteration of it. I made that in February to this year, and it's much faster. Really, quite a bit faster and neater, and smaller in general, to be honest. I mean, the size difference is like a lot, very much smaller, and also this opens much faster, which is pretty fun. I like the speed in which this opens. We've also got this door, which I made with a friend of mine, and we made it for a big like factory kind of thing, like a massive factory entrance, and it's, you know, it's a pretty simple door, but we made it creative for a factory entrance because we were building a factory together for no reason other than to build the factory together in creative. So yeah, we made this door. We designed this, yeah, you know, April last year, so about a year ago now actually, and it's really very simple. It's just some stuff like powering flying machines. So yeah, that was a fun one. This one was going to be for a vault, which I've got some designs of down there, but I wanted it to look good for the same factory. This was for the same factory. I wanted it to look good, but I didn't know how to get these bits to get out of the way, which is annoying. I'm still not quite sure how I do that, to be honest. Please, someone build this door and send me a thing. I'm not gonna use it. I mean, I probably won't, but it would be cool to know how to build in case I ever want to use it. So, you know, there's that. That's pretty fun. I like that. I like the design of it, but it's just a shame that it doesn't actually open all the way. So, you know, that's fun. We've got this one too. This one's good. This is the vault door that I ended up making because that design was too difficult. This one wasn't ever used. This was a first version of said vault door, and yeah, you know, it's nice. It's a bit slow, and when it's opening, you get that splitting off and then flying up. And from behind, it also doesn't look too appeasing. However, this is probably the most innovative use of pushing and pulling a floor block I have ever used. Because this powers the flying machine to go by updating this observer, but it's also stopping it from moving because it's already, these pistons are already, well, this piston specifically is already pushing 12 blocks. So with this, it's 13 blocks, and it just stops the flying machine. And obviously, you move it out of the way, updates this, and it's able to go. So I like that. That's pretty fun. I like it. Oh yeah, and the redstone's pretty big for that as well, actually. So you know. And then I made this door, which has smaller redstone and a much nicer opening sequence. In my opinion, I much prefer the opening sequence on this one. It's so much smoother, and it's completely toggleable. Right, you can just go underneath, change the timings of these repeaters. There's a lot of repeaters. You can just change the timings of it all and change how the door opens and closes. Like, I just changed them, and Like that's that, but it should look different. See, they were a bit later. You know, they were a bit slower. So yeah, I like it that you can change all of this stuff. And this is obviously before copper bolts were added, hence this T flip-flop. So yeah, that's that. It's all going to be a bit like that's that. That's that one behind me. That's a big project that I made for a friend. I'll show that to you in a bit. In fact, I think I'll show it to you now, simply because it's here and saves a bit of time. This is a 10 by 10 piston door. However, it could be infinitely wide if you want, because that's just how it works, and it's massive, and it took me way too long to build. It was a difficult door to build. However, if you think about it, it's pretty simple, right? It's literally just flying machine. I'll close it so you can get a better look at the flying machines. But it's one flying machine here, right underneath. It's just one flying machine here, and then pushing this with another flying machine. So it's just a chain flying machine, really. So yeah, that's it. This is its closing. It's just a chain flying machine, but you know, pretty. It was difficult in the building, to be honest, and then the activation circuits is just, that's easy. And then these are the top and bottom halves of said door, because I had to design them. You know, I actually had to build them. And I thought it would be easier to build the top half and the bottom half separately, and then just kind of squish them together. Because yeah, that just made sense to me. And then there's also this thing, which was my first attempt at the top half of the door, which was bad, because it goes up nicely, and then it goes up and then back down. And I don't really understand why I decided that was a good idea. And the flying machine is a bit too wide as well. So, you know, I don't talk about this door much, to be honest. This one stays away. So yeah, And then I'm going to go all the way back over here, because I've got some more stuff. Directly after I made that door, which is the first door that I made this because I didn't actually know what I was doing. Yeah, I knew what I was doing to build it, but I didn't know what to do, so I just made this because it was something to pass the time. It's pretty fun, really, really simple. Like anyone could build it simple. And then this is a bunch of different stuff that I've designed. I mean, I'm assuming these designs have been used before by other people, but they're designs that I have never seen, other than me thinking them up myself. Again, probably used by other people in other ways. Yeah, this flying machine, which I made for a lift, which I'll show you after I've shown you all this stuff. And then I've also got a sideways version, which I know is used because I have seen this before. I made it and thought, oh, well, I know I've seen this design before. So, you know. And then there's also this block swap, which I made for some hidden stairs. Well, really, I made the hidden stairs, then realized, oh, I've just basically made a big block swapper. And so copied the block swapping element, and now I have this, which is nice. I've got this triple piston extender. I made this somewhat recently, and it was surprisingly difficult, and I know it's really big and bulky, and there are probably better designs out there, but you know, there's double piston extenders. This is the first double piston extender I ever made. A bit slow, but it works off of getting 2 pulses, which is kind of handy sometimes. I've not really had a moment where it's handy, but I'm sure it can be handy. And then this is just a vertical version of it. You don't need the wall blocks, but you know, they're there. And then this is a design of a double piston extender that is much faster and, you know, pretty similar size, but you know, it's much faster. So you can just get that. And then this is like a version with stuff on top instead, just in case I needed that. This is a double piston extender I found online on YouTube. I can't actually remember who made it though, so when I was labeling everything for who made it, then you know, I couldn't figure out who it was. So yeah, that's that one. And then this one I made by myself, which is fast-ish. I don't know, is it faster? I don't know. I'm gonna see, is it faster? Mine is faster on the extending and the retraction. Mine's faster. Mine is definitely faster. Cool. I like that. I knew that was a reason I made it. And then this is a downwards one. Basically it works off of the same premises, to be honest. It's just because of quasi-connectivity being annoying, it's like this. And then this is one based off of this, which works off of 2 pulses. And can be handy sometimes, I assume. I don't know. So yeah, that's all of them thingy-majigs. And then this is the lift that I said I'd tell you about, and what I designed that flying machine before, which I'm sure other people have used. I like it. You can call it from the bottom of the lift. Just gotta wait a minute. Here you go, and then you can click a button and go up. Here we go. And then yeah, so you can obviously call it from, if it was down there, you can call it, and then you can obviously go in here and ride it down. The way this works is I've got, right, what is it? I've got this to update an observer by this retracting, and then this to stop it from flying because it reaches the piston push and pull limit with it as it gets stuck to slime. But obviously it retracts at the same time as that one so that it can actually go down. And that's all hooked up here. And then this big wall, which is what cools the lift. It's what cools the lift. Yep. This big wall here cools the lift when you're at the top. And the lift is cooled from the bottom by this big purple line here. And then down here, it's very simple. It's just activating a note block for an observer to look at. It's that simple. So, you know, yeah, I like that. That's a cute thing that I am actually going to be using on a single player world that I have. It's not one on YouTube. It's just a single player world that I have. So yeah, I was going to end up using that lift at some point. This door is one of my favorite doors. It's a 3x3 spiral piston door that I made myself. No YouTube tutorials or anything. It's just beautiful, in my opinion. You know, take it as you will, but I really like it. And the redstone is, I'd say it's somewhat simple. I mean, this bit was somewhat difficult, to be honest. But you know, it's just kind of, watch. We got this piston doing weird stuff, putting observers and whatnot. So yeah, that was fun. That's actually using a double piston extender that I didn't know who it was made by, but just moving the observers about. And then everything else is really simple. It's just looks complicated because it's all tried to be made thin and weird. This one was made before the copper bowl was added, but I added in the copper bowl because it was smaller and I was going to use the door at some point. So, you know, I just thought I'd help myself. This super smelter I made. It's really off topic, but me and my friend needed a super smelter. The minecarts seem to be missing, which is fun. Let me get some of them. Just turn it on and off with this lever, and yeah, everything just moves back and forwards. Simple as hell. So yeah, that's how that works. And so yeah, got this thing, which is, as the sign says, a somewhat spiral 4x4 vault door. I don't think I did a brilliant job on the spiral, especially on the closing. Like, the opening is acceptable, right? And then the closing is not. The closing is disgusting. That's bad. And then this was just going to be a regular one, but I don't know why I couldn't get it to work, and it should have been easier than that, but it wasn't. So there we go. So I scrapped that design and decided to just try again. Completely new design, and got it to work really well, actually. Now look at that. It's beautiful. Such a beautiful door, and it's double-sided, which is nice. Obviously we talked about that. And then over here we've just got an armor equipper. Simple stuff, that. Really simple stuff. It is literally the simplest thing I've ever made in my life. Just powering some crafters and dispensers at the same time, with the crafters obviously being loaded up with stuff. I think this one's got diamond. Yeah. This is what I made the block swapper for. The button is missing. Here you go. this is what I made the block swapper for. It's, well, I made this and then realized that I just built a block swapper because it just takes away some stairs and then that's about it. So what happens is I power that, which powers this piston, and then obviously, you know, the button breaks, so that is no longer powered, and then the signal travels up here, and then powering this piston just after this is hit, pushing it all back down, and then after that we've got a block swapper here and here, and then just carrying on all them pistons to keep them in time. That's about it. And then down here we've just got an activation circuit leading to this wiring here. So, you know, really, really simple stuff that. What? Okay, that's weird. Yeah, really simple stuff that. This door is one of my favorites. It's funny. I have an inverted 2x2 flush piston door. Because, like, you know, you'd click the button, right? If this was just a wall, you'd click the button expecting the door to be here or here, and then the door is just around it. I like that. I think it's funny. I need some copper now. I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a bit funny. I made it because I was bored and didn't know what to do, so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make a silly door. And I am impressed with the wiring, I'm not going to lie. I think that this is impressive. You know, like, look at this thin wiring. It's basically one block wide going down a corridor, and then a little bit going off to the edges to get everything working. So yeah, I like that. And then this bit's expensive, but oh well. So yeah, you know. This, however, is just a 3x3 flush piston door, where the edges of the walls are somewhat flush, because, like, you know, these bits are not, but these bits are. But I like it because it's got a cool opening animation where it splits in two, and you got that. So yeah, that's fun. I like that. And the reason this note block is here is to update the pistons, because otherwise these don't activate. Like it's weird. I'm not sure why, but they wouldn't otherwise. Also, I've got some pistons that push these blocks out, obviously. So otherwise, how would it work? So yeah, that's fun. And then this is an embarrassment. This is awful. I tried making a flush 3x3 door that got moved to the side and failed miserably. It's really not great. Yeah, this is bad. Like, look, I've got redstone here just blocking the pathway completely. It's just, I gave up on this. You know, it's unfinished. So yeah, that was my redstone world. I know it's not really big, but I like it. It's got some nice builds in it, in my opinion. So oh, I've just realised something. Sorry, that was a bit of an odd noise. But I've just realised I missed out 3 things, right? Hold on a minute. Give me 2 seconds. This, simple as hell. Really simple. That is not part of the build. That's just so I can get in with it being dark. But that was the wrong button. Here you go. This is just a light up corridor. I like it because you click it and then, like, the lights turn on and off going down the corridor. So yeah, that's really what that is. And that. This is what I remembered, which is another door I made for the factory that me and my friend we were making. Which, yeah, again, probably much more complicated than it actually needs to be for a door of that size. But I mean, hey, it's double-sided, so, well, I mean, it's not double-sided, but you can build it on the side, okay? Look, you can mirror it, so it is double-sided. And then this is actually a pretty fun door. I made this once because originally it was just going to be a bit shorter, but then I realized it can be made as tall as you want, hence the sign. I like that. I like this door. This door is cool. Obviously, you can put some decoration in if you want to make the pistons make sense. But I like it that the blocks get retracted and then it gets pulled to the side. Like, you could decorate that so it looks like bolts or something. Now, that's fun. I like that. I really like this door. I think it's cool. And basically what happens is, I can actually show you, I think. Here you go. So what happens is, these blocks get retracted, and then because they're on the slime and honey, when they get pulled back, they also get slid back. Which I think is innovative in a way. I mean, it might not be really innovative, but it's innovative in a way. Oh yeah, and then the top and bottom pistons get pulled up and down. So that the bottom ones get pulled down so that you can walk through. And then the top ones get pulled up simply because I realized I can get rid of them pistons from the build. So, you know, it just makes it look a bit neater. So yeah, that's fun. I like that. There you go. Right. That is my redstone world. There you go. That I think is all of my redstone world. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was really like off piece, like really a bit of a random video, but if there was anything in this video that you liked and want to know how to build yourself, let me know and I will try and make a tutorial on it as soon as I can, or as soon as I can after I've seen the comment. So, you know, I'll see you again in the next video, and until then, goodbye.